Egg prices have soared to record highs, averaging $4.95 per dozen nationwide in January 2025, with some states seeing prices reach up to $12. But what's really driving up these prices? In this video, we have an exclusive interview with a chicken who's gonna give us some insider information on the real reason behind these sky-high egg prices. But before we do that, why are these Humpty Dumpty looking things important in the first place? Well, for generations, Americans have been chowing down on eggs because they're a relatively inexpensive, highly nutritious food staple. But eggs aren't just a household favorite, they're a fundamental part of the food industry. Most of us know that restaurants use eggs in a variety of breakfast dishes, and bakeries use them in many of our favorite sweet treats. Restaurants also use them for breaded food items like chicken nuggies, ma sticks, and fried chicken sammies, where eggs act as a binding agent between the breadcrumbs and the protein. Many grocery store products that we might not even think about have eggs, like ranch, Caesar dressing, mayonnaise, ice cream, pasta, meatballs, marshmallows, and also popular candies like Snickers, Milky Way, and York peppermint patties. Even the flu shot is made with egg protein. So if you're a responsible vegan who gets one every year, I hope I didn't ruin your day. So it's safe to say that eggs are a heavily used commodity in the United States. So much so that they're included as a part of the Consumer Price Index, or CPI for short, one of the country's primary tools for measuring inflation. It tracks the average price change over time for a representative basket of commonly purchased goods and services. Things like shelter, medical care, transportation, and, this is an egg video, so you guessed it, food. So if egg prices spike unexpectedly, they can contribute to a rise in food inflation, impacting the overall CPI. A high CPI, aka high inflation, has historically led the US to raise interest rates, making it more expensive to take out loans. So all things considered, it's clear that eggs and their prices play a significant role, not just as a staple ingredient for consumers in the food industry, but also in the broader US economy. A spike in egg prices can make it harder for households to afford a key dietary staple, while restaurants must decide whether to absorb rising costs, eating into their profit margins, or pass them on to consumers and risk losing their business. Additionally, since egg prices factor into the CPI, sharp increases can influence inflation measurements, which in turn may impact US monetary policy and interest rates, affecting everything from borrowing costs to overall economic growth. These little guys and their prices are so important. But what factors contribute to the prices of eggs? It hard boils down to 4 key factors. Operational costs are the cost to produce an egg, profit margins set by the executive egg whites of wholesale and retail companies, and of course, demand and supply, which was taught to me by my high school econ teacher, who I deeply trusted because he kind of looks like an egg, and who doesn't trust eggs? Operational costs for eggs would be cost of labor, bird feed, water, heat, egg carton production, and transportation, which are passed down through the egg supply chain, ultimately trickling into the final price consumers pay. Profit margins represent the percentage of profit that companies aim to earn from selling eggs to consumers. Clearly, this contributes to the final price consumers end up paying for eggs. And finally, in a capitalist system, demand and supply serve as the foundation behind driving pricing. Here's a quick refresher on the relationship between demand, supply, and price. When demand decreases while supply remains stagnant or increases, prices tend to fall. Similarly, when supply increases and demand remains stagnant or decreases, prices also drop. For these cases, producers lower prices to encourage customers to buy up their excess inventory. Now, whenever demand increases while supply remains stagnant or decreases, prices tend to rise. This is because the scarcity of the good creates competition among buyers, and sellers can charge higher prices since customers are willing to pay more to secure them. And finally, when supply decreases and demand remains stagnant or increases, prices tend to rise, again due to scarcity. With fewer goods available, sellers can charge more as buyers compete for the limited supply. This last case is exactly what we've been experiencing in the United States since December. The supply of eggs is taking a hit as a new wave of avian influenza, also known as bird flu, is wiping out flocks of birds all over the United States. The most dominant and concerning strain of bird flu, H5N1, is classified as highly pathogenic avian influenza, or HPAI for short. It leads to infections that can cause disease affecting multiple internal organs with mortality rates of 90 to 100% in chickens, often within 48 hours. Since it resurfaced in 2022, the strain has killed over 155 million birds, and between December 2024 and January 2025 alone, HPAI took the lives of over 41 million birdies. So fewer birds means fewer eggs laid, reducing supply relative to the demand and ultimately driving prices higher. But the impact of the H5N1 bird flu strain goes beyond just the high prices of eggs. Since its 2022 reemergence in the United States, it has infected many other animals, including domestic cats and dogs, foxes, seals, tigers, leopards, bobcats, skunks, raccoons, mink, otters, lynx, alpacas, polecat, badger, polar bear, pigs, elephant, cows, and yes, humans. The concern of this virus spreading across multiple types of animals is that it creates new breeding grounds for the virus to mutate and potentially infect humans. This is similar to what happened in the 2009 swine flu pandemic, where pigs acted as mixing vessels, enabling avian, human, and swine influenza strains to reassort and produce a new virus that was highly efficient at transmitting to humans, ultimately taking the lives of over 284,000 people. Since 2024, the United States has reported 70 human cases of bird flu. 24 cases were linked to infected poultry farms, while 41 cases traced back to infected dairy cattle. This is nearly 60% of all cases. It's insane to think that the majority of the human bird flu cases came from an animal that wasn't a bird. And despite the CDC's assessment that bird flu poses a low risk to the general public, on January 6th, 2025, don't get excited, egg whites, the US recorded its first ever human death from bird flu. It was a farmer from Louisiana.
Welcome back. A Louisiana patient is the first person in the US to die from bird flu.
But at the end of the day, us mere humans will never understand the true impact that bird flu has had on society in the same way that a bird would. And that's why I'm excited to have an exclusive, never before seen interview with a little birdie who escaped their farm to talk to us about bird flu, the thing that's been jacking up the prices of eggs. I'm sick of it. I'm your host, Polo, joined by this birdie who's making their YouTube debut, Cluck the Chicken! How you doing, Cluck?
My name is actually Cock.
You fucking nutter! Cuck the Chicken! How you doing, Cuck? Alright, and without further ado, let's get right into these questions. Cuck, did you have a bird flu outbreak on your farm?
Where are you? Honey! Honey! Honey, what happened? Cock, I think I got infected. How could this happen? I don't know. We were fine all week. But listen, Cock, get away from me. I don't want to infect you too.
Henny, you my main man. I'm not leaving. Hoo-wee! Cal, that daggum bird flu came through.
All right, man. Go on and call the rest of them. Let's make some government money and raise our prices.
Get out of here, Cock. Cock. Cock.
Cuck. Cuck. Cuck, are you okay?
Oh, yeah. just got lost for a second. What was the question? Peacock!
No problem, Cuck. I'm glad you're back. Did you have a bird flu outbreak on your farm?
Yeah, we did. Few of my friends got hit. Peacock!
Wow, I'm so sorry to hear. What symptoms did your bird friends show when they got the flu?
Well, Flacco started turning purple and stopped eating. And Balint, she started laying malformed eggs and had diarrhea. And Broiler, well, he was coughing a bunch and was walking into things. And my Henny, she just died.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Cuck. What do farmers do when, Hey, Cuck, we can turn the cameras off if you don't want to keep going.
No, Henny will want me to keep going. Peacock!
What do farmers do when bird... Hey, Cuck. You're okay, right? Like, you're not infected, right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just had something in my gullet. Peacock!
All right, just 1 second. A little bit of slack here. This is just a protective measure, you know? I can't do a show if I got bird flu, right? Right, Cuck. Right, Cuck? Okay, so back to the questions. What do farmers do when birds in their flock catch bird flu?
Usually, farmers try to separate out the infected chickens away from the healthy, potentially infected chickens. At that point, the farmer doesn't know if the potentially infected chickens actually caught the flu or not. So they go and test all the remaining chickens. If the chickens end up testing positive for bird flu, farmers kill these chickens in order to stop it from spreading to other birds.
Wow, that's fascinating. And last question, Cuck. Are there any misconceptions about bird flu you'd like to... Excuse me. Are there any misconceptions about bird flu you'd like to... you'd like to clear up? Oh my God. What's happening?
Your government reimburses farmers everything they need to recoup their investment from culling birds they think are infected from bird flu. Why wouldn't farmers kill more birds just to get the reimbursement and benefit from driving up egg prices at the same time? Almost feels like farmers are purposefully infecting us, infecting my Henny to drive up egg prices. You know who's really winning from these high prices? Your largest egg producer in the U.S., Cameramen. Their stock price is up 106% since last year. And when they report their earnings in March, I guarantee they'll have record-breaking revenue and profit. If I were a human, I'd start questioning whether they're price gouging, whether this bird flu crisis is being exploited for profit. But I'm not human. I'm a chicken. And this Louisiana chicken is tired of you humans!
Louisiana? This can't be the bird that infected the farmer who died. Can it?
You're next.